understand something. Plain and simple. To me, Abigail was a delicious poison. An intoxicating, overwhelming poison. Yowie wowie! That felt good! Yowie wowie. Let me in.
What's up, everyone? We are back for a post-Christmas edition of Abby's Window. And, of course, can't have an Abby's Window without Abby. So, Jodie, what's up? How are you?
Little sleepy.
A little sleepy. I understand completely. I do. How's the new gig going?
It's going. I went to a facility for the first time today for some training. It was very eye-opening. So it's gonna be. I think I'm really gonna like the job. It's just there's a lot to get used to because obviously corrections is a brand new area for me. So
Yeah.
it'll take some getting used to. I got a little bit overwhelmed today.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully things adjust soon. I already shared some sentiments with you through text, so we'll think things are going to work out. I got a good feeling. So, all right, let's welcome in some folks real quick, and then we'll get going. We want people to participate today. So participate. I'm sure they'll participate. They always participate.
They
but,
do.
You know, it's sometimes it's a little risque, but you know we'll cross that bridge when we get there. KJ Carter, Chad Schrader, Erase Your Mind, Wes Heron, Gust, Shane, Big Dan, Brittany K, Sean Suslowitz, Dalton Riley, Jason Peace, James Chadwick, Alicia P, Seven Fiend, Dana, Deanna, Paul. Let's see who else here. Yos. What's up, Yos? Yes, I'm starting already. Eric A. Grubb, Alexa Bliss Gamer 0809. So, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us.
There's a skill.
I haven't had to say that in a while, so. Are you done? Are you done?
I think so. I think she's done.
I think she's done. Anyway, enough of the theatrics here. First off, hopefully all of you had a wonderful holiday, a Merry Christmas. Whatever you celebrate, hopefully you've had some happy holidays. So we'll go there first. Jodie, how were your days with the fam? I know you did a little bit different this year, right?
We asked Santa to delay visiting by a day because we wanted all the girls didn't come down until Sunday, and Tate came over on Sunday. So we asked Santa to delay a day so that all the kids could be here and open presents together, which he happily obliged, which is very nice of him.
Very nice.
So we had dinner. I made dinner yesterday, and we opened presents yesterday.
There you go.
They had a good time.
Well, I saw the live for a little bit, and it looked like they were having some fun.
Yeah, it's been unseasonably warm up here. It was like 60 degrees last night.
Yeah.
So we decided to have a bonfire. We still have so many boxes that we need to burn. So we decided to have a little bonfire last night, and I knew that Harper would have wanted to go on Instagram. She's a little bit of an attention hog, so
Oh, a
so
little influencer in the making.
she wants to be. I keep trying to bring her down to reality a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And yes, I realize my camera is off. Hopefully it'll come back on. I'm waiting for it to restart. There was a little technical glitch with it. Yeah, that's it. So hopefully it'll come back soon. Tazzy, what's up, Tazzy? Jesse Callan, Scott Steiner. No, I have not heard that. Scott Steiner. Very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. It was fun having the kids. I had my little ones Saturday, and it was fun seeing them opening gifts and having fun and playing with each other's toys. You know, that kind of thing, thinking, hey, this is really cool. You know, so it was fun. It was a fun time had by all. You know, everything that happened with them was fantastic. So
I did a lot of cooking.
So what'd you cook?
We did Coca-Cola and brown sugar ham. I made a turkey breast. I did mashed potatoes, roasted potatoes, Yorkshire pudding, gravy, you know, all of the British goodies that I normally make.
Yeah. See, I'm jealous.
We baked a cake.
Ooh. Ooh. Jesse says I got to see my little one in sonogram form on Christmas Eve.
That's so exciting.
That is exciting.
It is exciting.
That is. Not real sure what this is, so you're gonna get blocked. Thank you for your participation. James Chadwick says I just stuffed my face and drank. Yeah, I can relate.
We ended up picking up when we went to Cincinnati to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra concert. We stopped by this liquor beer place. You know, Chris, I think, knows every craft place to get craft beer in the tri-state area. So we stopped by there and we found this bottle of white wine that was harvested from grapes grown in Galilee. So we thought that was an appropriate bottle of wine to have on Christmas. So that's what we did.
You know, and I don't want to make this too anything, but folks have gotten so into the commercialized portion of Christmas that they forget the true meaning of Christmas. And it's not about toys and gifts, honestly. You know, so that's very good that you were able to find that. That's
It wasn't bad
awesome.
either.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Dalton saying try twisted tea.
He did message me and tell me that.
Oh goodness. Yo saying they had lasagna for Christmas dinner. Sounds good.
I'm really picky about my Italian food because I'm not a big ricotta cheese person.
Gotcha. Texture, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm funny about my textures. I don't eat bananas. I don't eat peanuts. I don't eat almonds.
Okay.
Don't eat ricotta cheese. Don't eat cottage cheese. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah, Brittany K was at Disney. Said she had spaghetti in Epcot. So sounds fun. Saw the pictures there. That looks fun. I've not been to Disney in years. Last time I went was Disneyland. So
last time I went, I was 12.
Oh, okay. I don't want to say how old I was because I did not have kids at the time, and yes, it was just me.
Yep. It's been a hot minute since I've been there.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into a question that I want the chat to participate in. And Jody and I were talking about this a little before the show, but today we want to discuss the top Bray moments of 2021, and we want you guys to chime in and give us your takes on some of the top moments this past year for Bray Wyatt, aka Windham Rotunda. So we'll start at number 5, Jody. Number 5 for you. And I know this is a tough question.
I'm going to put it on there just because it was monumental. I mean, you have to go with him being released.
Yeah.
It was such a, even though it was not a good feeling moment at all by any means, it was still a pretty monumental moment. And, you know, now we're just waiting to see what this movie is going to look like and where the path takes him next. And, you know, looking forward to seeing him in March.
Yeah. Yeah, that was such a monumental and honestly sad. I mean, I know I've seen a lot of people get sad over all of these releases, but I don't think there was the outpouring of emotion and just sadness that it was that day that he was released. I mean, it took a lot of people by surprise. Obviously, all of us, and you know, most of the wrestling world.
It's one of those moments that you definitely will remember where you were.
Yes.
And I was in the car. We were driving home back to Indiana from North Carolina, and we were actually stopped at a gas station in Asheville. And yeah, that's when I read it on my phone, and I was like, I said, this has to be a joke. Or like from a parody account or something like that. And yeah, I thought it was a joke too at first. And then you look into it and you're like, oh, what?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was when I first heard it, I thought it was a joke. I thought someone was just playing, you know, a sick game. But obviously that was not the case. So yeah, so what's up, Tony? I know I missed some. Hanzo, what's up? Okay, let's move to number 4 then. What was your number 4 moment?
I think you've got to put now looking back, you've got to put that last Firefly Funhouse episode in there. Because now you know it was the last one that we were going to see. You can go back and watch it a little differently and try to figure out whether or not he knew at that period of time that he was going to get released. But I don't know. It just makes that final episode a little bit more special.
Yeah, I mean, and it, you know, looking back on it, it was eerie when you go back and listen to some of the words that he said and the delivery. I mean, what were some of the things that you picked up upon looking at it after the fact?
Oh, him saying that, you know, he feels like a brand new me and he felt reborn. And, you know, at the time, obviously, a lot of us were thinking, oh, that means that he's going to be changing a little bit more as he goes forward. Because it was after he had come back as being burned and all of that stuff. So, yeah. So, but now you look back on it and you're like, oh, maybe he was a little bit foreshadowing his own release. Maybe he knew about it. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. It's not my place to know, but yeah, it just, it made it a little bit more eerie going back and watching it afterwards. No more clout chasing. Yep. Remember that too.
Yeah, there were a lot of quotable lines in that last one. There were quite a few things that that were put on there that I've, what was I'm trying to think of the other one that he said that we had up for a while. And it was so hilarious. Someone's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
But goodness, I have to think. I'll keep thinking on it. Let me read out some of these comments. Erase Your Mind saying July 31st, 2021. I just got done purchasing the Ringside Collectibles Funhouse Bray and stuff at a toy convention in Allentown. I got home and found out the news of his release. How ironic. Yeah, that was, yeah, it was rough. I mean, it really was rough. Hanzo saying WrestleMania entrance, Fastlane return, taking out Retribution, Fiend returns in the swamp, and getting set on fire. Ouch. Big Dan saying return at Fastlane for Jodie's reaction. That was an epic reaction. Bray's WrestleMania entrance, Bray getting Future Endeavor, last Firefly Funhouse, Bray on Alexa's Playground. Yeah, it was. Witches be wildin'. Thank you, Jen. Witches be wildin'.
I remember that. That was funny.
That was it. That was it. Yes, witches be wildin'. So yeah, so it was Witches Be Wild and was hilarious.
It was very funny.
Yep, it was funny. Okay, number 3 for you.
Was the Inferno match, was that in 2020 or 2021?
You know what? We can include it in this.
Okay, because okay. So I'm gonna keep that one for a little bit, and I'm gonna put his WrestleMania entrance in there, or just that WrestleMania match in general. The theatrics of him walking through that tunnel and like regenerating, that was one of those mind-blowing moments. And you're like, what the heck just happened? What? And obviously we were just really excited to see him on TV because we'd only seen little things, and being able to see him in a match that we hadn't seen him in for a little while was awesome.
Yeah. Deanna saying tribute to Brody. Yeah. You know what? We don't have a lot of moments, so I say let's include it. Why not? Why not include it?
Yeah. Number 2, I'm going to put his burnt Fiend return when he came back after the Inferno match. Fastlane. It was Fastlane, wasn't it?
Fastlane.
Fastlane. Yeah. So that was it was one of my favorite reactions of the year. Because you just weren't expecting it. You thought that maybe he was going to show up, or we were going to get some kind of teaser with that feud with Randy. But then, those lights went out and all that smoke came up from under the ring and the fire. And we were all just sitting there going, whoa. It was fantastic. It was such a great moment.
All right, we got to go back to the reaction. Because it was good.
I screamed. Yes, I did.
You did. Now let's talk about the moment that we kind of saw the ring kind of open up like that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a sense? Okay, it's happening right now. Like, is that where the anticipation started to build?
Actually, no. When I first saw like the smoke coming up out of the ring, I thought that maybe Randy was going to get dragged under the ring. So I wasn't totally sure that it was going to be Bray returning. I thought that maybe it would, yeah, like Randy was going to get pulled under the ring, or Alexa was going to push him under the ring, or something weird was going to happen. So I definitely wasn't expecting him to come up out of that ring. And the second he starts rising up, we're all just like, oh, it's happening. Oh my gosh. And it was, yeah, definitely a holy shit moment for sure.
Yes, it was. James saying that was definitely a holy shit moment. It was. You know what, it was so cool though seeing your reaction. Like, it really was, because that's such a genuine moment, and seeing everyone's reaction was cool, because I think that was the night that Peacock was just being, a part of its name towards me. I think that's the night that was happening. And so I was not on camera, but
You popped back in there.
I popped back in, and it
Mhm.
was like, that was such a cool moment, and one that it was like straight out of a horror movie, honestly. I mean, it really was like straight out of a horror movie.
I really like Joe's reaction, because he was
Yeah.
like in his Jason moment, and he
Yeah.
was flipping out about that. Everybody else was like, "Oh my gosh, he's burned!" Like he's melting and all of that stuff. And
Yeah.
Joe immediately went to Jason, and I just, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those moments that, again, you mentioned this earlier, but it's one of those moments that you won't forget where you were when you saw it,
Mm-hmm.
because it's an iconic moment. I mean, I think for that character, what a cool way to come back, I mean, you're thinking, how in the world is this being going to come back?
Mm-hmm. After that.
And after that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, yeah, he's back. And not only is he back, but I mean, he's back in a major way.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, like this, wow.
To me, that memory will be even more special, because I was sitting outside at my parents' house, and my parents don't live there anymore. So they moved back to England in October. So it's definitely one of those memories that I'll hold really close to my heart, because I won't get to sit outside on their patio and watch Bray wrestle ever again.
Yeah. Wow. That hit right in the heart. Let's see what other people are saying here. James Grant, what's up, James? Mania entrance, return at Fastlane 3. Witches be wildin'. See, witches be wildin', man. Um, let's see here. Yo, saying, I don't say the S word after holy. I say holy crap. I try not to say that, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Sometimes you need to, and that was one of those moments that you're just like,
holy
Smoke.
bleepity bleep.
Holy
Batman.
smokes.
Yeah. James saying, I was trying so hard not to spoil that moment, because WWE Network was a few minutes ahead. Yeah, Jane, God bless you all who are ahead of us on stream. Sometimes we try to sync up as much as we can, but sometimes we're a little bit behind you guys. So God bless you for not spoiling in the chat. We really appreciate that. But yeah, that was a moment that you can't really spoil. So you So
It was
I
still going to
appreciate
be
it.
exciting, even if somebody did.
Either way. Either way. Deanna saying iconic moment for a character we love. That is exactly right. Yo saying, if I'm right, Randy was a heel during that time. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Randy was just a despicable human being.
Just like he was the last time they had a feud
Exactly.
when he set the
Exactly.
compound on fire.
Hmm. What's up, Wiley? So we're at number one, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're at number one. So what's your number one moment?
I'm going to put that Firefly Inferno match, and I'll tell you why. It takes a hell of a lot of guts and stamina and bravery and some real true like passion for your craft to literally be set on fire and wrestle while you're on fire.
Mhm.
And I think, not only Wyndham, but Randy Orton sold that really well too. And, obviously we know from what Kyle said that he didn't come away from that unscathed, and to be that dedicated to your craft and entertaining the fans and being so dedicated to telling that beautiful story that we were all loving. And I have to put that as my number one moment because it was just another reason why we love him so much.
Right. Yeah, I mean that match, that was intense. That was intense. I know seeing your reaction to that match too was tough because it's scary seeing him. I mean, yes, we all know that it's entertainment. We all know those things. Get it.
Right.
Got it. But there's still risk involved.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I think the first person that I messaged after that match was Kyle. And I was like, please tell me he's at least like not seriously injured. I know that it was in a controlled environment and all of that stuff, but I said, please at least tell me that he's okay. So, because, especially me being a nurse too, like that was my, oh, you're supposed to run towards that. And I couldn't. So, yeah, there's definitely, as scripted as WWE is, there's still an aspect of, realism and real danger and risk to what they're doing. I mean, we've seen pictures all the time of people getting in matches and their backs just being a hot mess. And, there's definitely a real side to it. They're putting their body at risk and sometimes getting hurt in the process. So
Yeah.
I think that match, they told a beautiful story and it was entertaining, and not a lot of people can say that they've wrestled while they're on fire.
That's very true. Very true. Deanna saying, well, let me go to Erase Your Mind. Sure hope Bray got hazard pay for that Fly Inferno match. I hope so. I hope so. Deanna saying, but how many times have we seen WWE have accidents? So that match was a bit scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James saying Orton was having the time of his life working with Wyndham. You could tell because he was giving it his all. They both were. I mean, let's go back to that real quick. Because the way that they were telling that story, it's like they kept upping the ante. So that last feud between those two, what did you think of it overall?
I wanted more.
Yeah.
I definitely would have liked a conclusion to that feud since they started it and never really finished it. Obviously they did in a way because of the WrestleMania match, but I would have liked a little bit more closure, but that obviously was not in the cards. But, you know, that's also a testament to them as well, that they didn't know whether or not or when the closing moment of that feud was going to be. So they gave it their all every single time, whether it was, you know, a 10-second promo and the Fiend showing up in the ring on Monday Night Raw the day after Fastlane, or, you know, a WrestleMania match. They gave 110% every single moment.
Yeah, I felt like the dedication that they had to that storyline was just evident every single week. Every single time they were on screen, whatever they did, whether it was a promo, I mean, oh goodness, it was just tremendous. Um, I know Erase Your Mind saying, look at Cody Rhodes' back recently. Yeah, that thing's nasty. James Grant, the Fiend character was so good. It was just as popular as the Undertaker was. That Inferno match takes lots of guts to be in that. Hanzo's saying they must have switched Windham out so quick for that Fiend mannequin. It looked so real. I'll tell you, they did such a great job with that. I mean, they did a bang up job on that, because again, if you can pull people in like that, the cut on that, I know people get on WWE about their cuts a lot in terms of their camera cuts. That was done masterfully, because that's like a magic show, sleight of hand type stuff that you saw with that. So
it was beautiful. Beautiful piece of poetry.
it was. So I know someone asked about someone that was new that I hadn't seen before, asked about this was last time we were on, some of your favorite Wyatt family matches.
I mean, my knee-jerk reaction is the Wyatt family versus the Shield. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that.
Right.
It just doesn't. I mean, that was the most like beautiful, poetic, amazing thing to watch. It's yeah.
What's another a feud or a program that they had over time that really stands out for you?
I mean, the old feud that he had with Randy was so amazing too, because, you know, Abigail really came into that one, and, you know, that was such a good one too. And you saw, you know, the evolution of Bray after that, the thing with Matt Hardy, but yeah, all of it was just awesome. They were so good together. They had so much chemistry coming out together as a group. And, you know, I know that Brody's going to be very missed forever. And I can't imagine how shattered their hearts have been, you know, because like Windham said, that was his brother, and they just worked so well together. And
Yeah.
you know, they had that little feud with the New Day too, which was pretty funny.
Yeah. That's always, you know, they have those serious feuds, but then they have the stuff with the New Day, and that was awesome. James Grant bringing up the Cena versus Wyatt feud. Now, I gotta ask. Obviously, we know how the first time played out at WrestleMania, but let's talk about, obviously, and this isn't for 2021, but you know, since we're kind of looking at all of his stuff, let's talk about the Firefly Funhouse match.
that will never be outdone. I know I feel like I've said that for just about every match that he's had, but that match was such a one of a kind that there'll never be anything else quite like that ever again.
Right.
It was that perfect mix between being able to do something cinematic because of COVID and not having fans, and they just those two circumstances just melded together so well. I hate to say that about a pandemic, but it was because of circumstances like that that they were able to really go outside of the box and again make a beautiful piece of poetry that we all enjoyed. And there will never be another match like that ever.
No. And I think one of the marks of that match is how many times people have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta ask, how many times have you seen that match?
A lot. Just because it's you really get a story. You know what I mean? Like, obviously matches are designed to tell a story, but that was more than a match. It was, you got to see that whole story play out. And Bray, like, he hides things in plain sight all the time. So you go back and watch it just to try to maybe pick up something that you missed before. But one of the greatest parts of going back and rewatching that, if you're doing it on like the network or Peacock or something, if you go back and watch it, was what's the dude's name that was right after?
Titus O'Neil.
Yes, was literally right after the end of that match. All you see is him going, I don't know what I just saw.
Yeah.
It always makes me laugh. Like, I always watch until after that moment because that's pretty much how all of us felt. We were like, what was that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell it was, but it was freaking awesome.
That match, just that experience. That's what it was. It was an experience. There are a lot of things that have been taken away from us over the last almost 2 years. But there have been some things that we've gotten that we wouldn't have had it not been for that. And this is one of those things, like you said. And that was just an experience, from seeing Bray in all the different parts that he had.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite parts of it was when they went back to the 80s, kind of with the Saturday night's main event thing, and he's got Cena there pumping the iron and going crazy. And it was just a masterful
It was
cinematic match.
Mm-hmm.
You got to shout out Matt Hardy for being a pioneer, and Jeremy Borash. But good grief, that was done so well.
Mm-hmm.
And for that to be on the same card with the Boneyard match, and honestly not just be as good, but there's an argument. People are talking about how great the Boneyard match was, and it was phenomenal. There's an argument, though, that wasn't the best cinematic match on that card.
Mm-hmm.
That's because of how brilliant this experience was.
Mm-hmm.
So
he was, and Joe said it a little bit earlier, he was definitely the MVP of WWE during all of that Thunderdome era when the fans weren't there. It was just designed for a person like him.
mm-hmm.
I know that he really missed being with the fans because he told everybody that, and I know all of them really missed having the fans around, but Windham is one of those people that will just thrive under that environment, and that kind of character just it thrives in that kind of cinematic no crowds era. And for me, that'll be the biggest, when this all goes away someday, that'll be one of my fondest memories. Like, even though as awful as, the past couple of years have been, he's still there. He was still there during those awful moments when we were like, oh my gosh, we're never going to get back to normal. He made it a little bit more bearable.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was such a tough time. And it's still a tough time. But having him do what he did, and I mean, James just said it gave them time to create something special.
Mm-hmm.
And that run was special.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that he did during that run was special. I mean, you think about, and I go back to this leading up to the Firefly Funhouse match. You think about that promo that he cut that Friday night on SmackDown, where he just pops up behind Cena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then to have that played back,
Mm-hmm.
that was just
magical.
It was
Mm-hmm.
magical.
Yeah.
It was magical. Okay. So obviously we've heard about a movie. We've heard about, I'm just going to put this up because you know what? Every time I look at it, it makes me happy. That this makes me happy every time I see it.
Yeah.
Because March 13th, we'll be there.
Mm-hmm. Providing the state of New York not doing something ridiculous.
Well, there's a lot that I could say about that, but
yes, I know.
I'm going to keep my comments to myself. But yeah, hopefully things are at a point where this can still happen, and we will be there. The Insiders squad, the family, the army will be there, and we're gonna do a live show.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna happen. If this happens, we're gonna do a live show. How pumped up are you about this event?
Honestly, not quite as pumped as I was when I booked the tickets, just because I know what New York as a state is doing right now, with requiring, proof of vaccinations to eat at a restaurant and do anything indoors. So that kind of dampened it a little bit, obviously, because I am not vaccinated. So we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out.
Yeah. It's, again, hopefully things will be a lot better between now and then, and whatever's going to happen, we just need to have it happen so people are safe, and and we can gather again. Dang it, I want to gather.
Mm-hmm.
I want to meet the people that I've been doing this with for 2 dang years. It's crazy. But yeah, hopefully the state of New York won't ruin it. But we'll see what happens. So
if everything goes to plan, like Big Dan said, by the time my birthday rolls around, I'll be still on cloud 9 between February and March and my birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I'm going to see one Mr. Caleb Johnson on February 25th.
That is right. And I know you are pumped. Yes, Deanna, and that's all I'll say. I can't say a lot more. than that for work reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just leave it at that. Tazzy saying he wants to go.
Come on, Tazzy.
Tazzy, book a flight.
Yep, let's go.
I gotta pull out bed that you can sleep in. You might have to share it with some people though. I might have to bring in some additional air mattresses and
You know what we should do? We should all like pool together and rent like a suite at a hotel and just have a big old hotel party. Because it's like suites at hotels typically have 2 queen or 2 king size beds, and we could pull in some air mattresses and a pull out couch, and we'll just have a big old hotel party.
all right. We will chat after the show in the coming days and time for that. So I like the way you're thinking about that. That'll be a lot of fun. What?
Somebody just commented and said that they're stuck in Leicester, England. That's my hometown.
Hometown.
That's my hometown. That's where I was born and raised.
Yeah. So, oh goodness.
The master planner Jodie strikes
again. Yeah.
I am known to have the occasional good idea.
That's more than that. Come on now, give yourself credit. Give yourself some credit. Now, you've told me how to say it again. How do you say it again?
What? My hometown?
Yes.
Leicester.
Leicester.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I was, making it far too complicated.
Don't have to be.
And then, with my southern drawl, I was going to make it even more complicated. And I didn't need to do that. So, Leicester.
Yep.
How big of a town is Leicester?
It's not that big. I mean, yeah. It's not one of the big major cities. It's like in between the little cities and the big cities.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's one of my favorite places on the planet. Have a lot of family that still live there, actually.
Okay. That was going to be one of my questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my parents moved when they moved back to England in October. They moved to Hereford, which is a little bit outside of London. My uncle lives there. And one of my cousins lives there. So everybody else is still in Leicester.
Mm-hmm. Wow. See, that's a cool story. And David saying, "Wow, Jodie, I didn't know you were a Leicester native. Small world."
Mm-hmm.
It is a small world. It's crazy how connected we are when we start to peel back. We start to trace all of our roots and everything. It's crazy how connected we all are. So that's awesome. Alicia saying it's bigger than mine. Mine's a town.
Mm-hmm.
Population of Leicester is about 330,000. Okay, that's a good size.
According to Google.
According to Google. Uh-oh.
Hanzo saying Jamie Vardy's having a party. That's my team.
So I have a gripe. I have a grievance, and I know this isn't the right show for a grievance. But I just want to share a quick grievance if you'll allow it.
Go for it.
These darn spam calls are so out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Good grief.
Mm-hmm. Even if you put your name on the do not call list, they still
They
call.
still do it. And now legislation has passed where they can text you. So even
my phone is hardly ever on ring. It's always on vibrate. Always. Just because I'd get woken up all the time.
Dang it. That is why I'm gonna put my phone on silent.
There you go.
Let's see. Yeah, and they text the wrong numbers too. Brittany saying, I wrote it, It's a Small World, like 3 times on my trip to Disney, and it's stuck in my head. Hey, that's pretty awesome though, to be able to go to Disney and do that during the holidays. I bet that's awesome. So Jodie, as we get into the last few minutes here, any other moments that you want to bring up from the year? Anything that sticks out?
Obviously having, a little bit of communication with him and knowing that he knows that we're coming to visit, and that will be definitely one of the highlights of my next year, is all these things that were supposed to happen this year that didn't get to happen finally get to be followed up on next year. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I so want to meet him, and I know I do want to bring up though another moment, and you're being modest about it, but I want to bring it up anyway. Your meet and greet.
My phone call?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When you got on there, he's like, "Hey, I know this person. I know this name." Tell me about that.
Actually, I didn't hear that at first, because if you remember from my video, I came on camera like a few seconds after he said that, when he said, "I know this name." And then he said it again, like when I finally came on screen, he's like, "Oh yeah, I saw your name pop up." And I was like, "I know this one." And I was like, I think I was just sitting there in shock at first. Like, what? Because I don't think he had started following me at that point. I think it was before that happened.
Yeah.
So I was definitely really stunned. Like, what? Wait a minute. I'm confused. Because I was definitely not expecting that. I mean, if I would have had, met him and then had a video chat, I would have expected him to maybe remember who I was in March, when we're going. But yeah, that was definitely unexpected. Like I'd met him face to face once, and that was 9 months before that phone call. So I was definitely very surprised. And then when I went back and watched the video afterwards, when it got sent to me, and found out that he had said that before that, I was like, it definitely leaves me with some unanswered questions. Mm-hmm. Like, why? I'm assuming it was for a good reason, that. So, but I definitely get in that moment of not feeling quite worthy of that kind of attention from him. But so yeah, I'm definitely, would in the back of my head, I do wonder, like, why what was it that made him remember me, and 9 months later, and what possibly possessed him to follow me on Twitter. And I still don't know the answer to that either. So I'm just enjoying it. I'm just along for the ride.
Deanna saying he knows more than we think he knows.
I have heard that from people quite close to him, actually. that
So
he sees everything, and he sees a lot more than we give him credit for.
Sean saying that the new backdrop looks badass. Yeah, show that off.
So this is a picture from Nolanium. I commissioned him to do that for me. Obviously that is my little Funko Pop painting from Mr. Scott Dorsey. I've still got my Big Fiend picture up there from Scott. And that is from our very own Jesse Callan. Thank you. And what have I got over here? Oy. Over here, I got my picture with him. I have, this will never happen again. I don't mean that in a bad way.
No.
So autographed by Bray, Rowan, and Brody. There's my picture of the tattoo Kyle did on my back. And there's another piece by Scott. And that's it. That's all I got.
Wow. That looks amazing. Looks amazing. Hanzo, ask a question and then we'll.
I got that one.
Oh.
I have more in my drawer to put up, but I ran out of frames.
One last question and then we'll get out of here. Question for Jodie. When you meet Windham again, do you call him Windham or Bray? And also, would you ever ask him what he'll do next?
I don't know. Like, from what I've been seeing from people who did the mail-in autograph things, he's still signing things Bray Wyatt. So I don't know. I mean, obviously you default to calling him Bray, and I don't really think he would mind either way, but that might be a question that I might have to ask him. We're supposed to call you Windham now or Bray, or does it matter?
Or does it matter?
I'm sure he will say it doesn't matter. Do you ever ask him what he'll do next? No. Because even if I did ask him that, he would give me some really twisted, cryptic response that wouldn't give me any answers. So I just like to go with the flow and see what happens. I don't want him to ruin the surprise.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, it is 7:00. We'll be back. We've got day one that's coming up this week, and we've also howdy.
Hi, Josh.
Howdy.
You're live on YouTube right now.
Yes, you are.
I am. I'm what?
You're live on YouTube right now. You've just made your YouTube debut.
I'm live on YouTube right now?
You are live on YouTube,
real?
For real.
Facebook,
For real?
Twitch,
For
and
real.
Twitter.
Oh yeah, Facebook and Twitter and Twitch and yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on YouTube.
Yeah. Say hello.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
We're going to get out of here real quick. Our schedule for the rest of the week, we have Impact on Thursday. Saturday we're doing day one.
I do.
Hey Logan.
You get one, you get them all.
Yep, I know the feeling. I know.
Where
Hey.
Daddy.
Say hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Say hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey. Hey. So yeah, that's all we've got. We got anybody else coming, Jodie, before we take off? Okay.
Nope, just these two.
Where's Taffy?
Tazzy. He's in the chat.
He's in the chat.
Hi, Dan.
Okay, we gotta go.
All right, folks. Well, we will chat with you soon. Come check us out later this week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.